Alright, here we go. This is Duelist Kingdom. We're back at it again. New week, Monday. And we have got PaniK going up against the Paradox Brothers. Now, the Paradox Brothers did pick up their first loss in their last round, which was quite a surprise as well. They were unbeaten for like 7 games, something like that. They were doing really well. PaniK, on the other hand, not so consistent. He's lost quite a few, so on paper you should say that the Paradox Brothers should win, but you never know. Alright, Paradox perspective. Stone Armadillo, Wasteland, Dark Hole, Shadow Ghoul and Monster Reborn. Not a bad starting hand. Stone Armadillo will get a plus 200 attack and defense from Wasteland as well. Alright. Next up with PaniK, he goes for Yami, so we've got a split field now. And down goes Big Eye. Okay, so he's elected to play it and not activate its effect unless he doesn't have any other monsters. But that will stalemate, 1400 apiece. Alright, back to the Paradox Brothers. Now there is the thing that hides in the mud. They can summon Shadow Ghoul. And after having a bit of a think, I think there's really no other choice. You got to get the advantage here. Down goes Shadow Ghoul. That gets 100 for every monster in the graveyard. It will also get a 200-point bonus from Wasteland. It is a zombie. All right, Big Eye is destroyed. 500 points off PaniK, down to 7,500. And PaniK, now in turn 4. He goes with a face-down defense and straight to his end phase. It will be tough for PaniK to get a 1900 off the field. There's Gate Guardian, very difficult to summon, but it was the Paradox Brothers' ace monster in the series. Down goes the thing that hides in the mud, and Shadow Ghoul attacks the face-down. Oh, it's Hyro Shadow Scout, so 3 cards will be drawn from Paradox Brothers deck, and if any are spell cards, they go to the graveyard. However, none of them are. Hyro Shadow Scout, in reality, it's a good card, but it's very luck based because you can get rid of some very strong magic cards. However, it does also increase the card count for your opponent if they don't draw magic cards. Now, Wall Shadow, Dungeon Worm and Monster Tamer were picked up. There's Ryoko. Also a very powerful card as well, Ryoko. Alright, the thing that hides in the mud is Tributed. Dungeon Worm comes to the field, that's an 1800. It will also boost Shadow Ghoul by another 100. And Mask of Darkness, so it would appear that PaniK has not drawn many of his... He has not drawn the greatest of hands. There's 2,000 points off, and PaniK looks like he could be about to fall in the next couple of turns unless something changes for him very quickly. Goes with, once again, another face down. There's Remove Trap. And Paradox Brothers have gone for a tribute. They're getting the exact same result. However, there is a Monster Reborn in hand as well, but they choose not to. Okay. There goes Visago the Destroyer. PaniK now down to 2,000 points. Even with the Monster Reborn and bringing back a Dungeon Worm, it still wouldn't have quite been enough, but 2,000 plays 8,000, and the Paradox Brothers look well and truly beaten here. Just another face down. There is Giant Soldier of Stone, which will get a slight boost from Wasteland, and Paradox Brothers go with Dark Hole, destroying everything on the field along with Dark Titan of Terror. Paradox Brothers, they play down Monster Reborn. That was the idea all along. And they bring back Shadow Ghoul. They do still have a normal summon as well. They can still play down the Giant Soldier of Stone. Oh, and they're playing Ryoko as well. Just playing now. Alright, 750 on, so that'll be 2950. Just to add just that little bit heavier hit at the end, just for the hell of it. Paradox Brothers defeated in match 1 of 3, or best of 3. PaniK will have to win 2 matches in a row from here, which is quite a challenge against the Paradox Brothers, given how good they've been in this tournament. Alright, as we set up, how's everyone's week? How was everyone's weekend? Hopefully it was a memorable one. Hopefully everybody remembers their weekend as well. Although some people choose to partake in ways to forget about the week that they had, and I don't blame them at all. There's Dark Chimera, Visago the Destroyer, a Dark Energy, a D-Spell, and a Dark Hole from PaniK. That's an okay starting hand. It's not the strongest, but I don't know, Dark Hole's always a benefit. Alright, they've both gone with face down defense. And PaniK now will go for Dark Chimera. Was one of his anime monsters. $19.10 now. And it is Protector of the Throne. Not a bad defensive card, but no match for Dark Chimera. And let's flip turn back to the Paradox Brothers. Now staring down a 1900 attack, so there's nothing in their deck that can just directly attack that. Unless they go for a tribute. They do have some defense that can, but in Giant Soldier of Stone. But oh wow, only a face down. Only a face down spell or trap. That's a curious. They do have quite a lot of high level monsters in their deck. Suijin, Kazajin, and Sangha. Great Guardian, Dungeon Worm, Monster Tamer, Labyrinth Wall Shadow. There is a lot of high level monsters in that deck. So Paradox Brothers now on 4890 life points, given the odd strength patterns of Dark Chimera. And Paradox Brothers have gone with a face down defense. There's Reaper of the Cards. Okay, they will go summon it. There goes Frenzied Panda. So, won't be any life point damage here, but a flip effect can still be useful. Especially with Reaper of the Cards and its ability to destroy trap cards. Dissolve a Rock is gone, so the Paradox Brothers, yeah, they must be struggling for monsters. 6 cards in hand. And it is Destroyer Golem. Wow, to the battle phase, they must be running out of ideas. They must have thought that that would have been... Wow, and there goes the Bottomless Trap Hole as well. It's a surprising move that the Paradox Brothers went to attack with Destroyer Golem there. However, if they've got nothing else to play, at least trying to make some sort of counterplay is better than nothing. However, 1910, Destroyer Golem is gone. They're down, Paradox are down to 4050. Reaper of the Cards attacks at its 1380. 2670 life points remaining for the Paradox Brothers, and it looks like they may be beaten in this match by PaniK, which is quite a surprise. I thought this would be a whitewash. There's another face down spell or trap, and again another. There's Monster Reborn. However, I don't think there's even anything in the graveyard that's going to be able to help. From here, Protector of the Throne is brought back. So PaniK will have to attack with Dark Chimera to at least get that off, but there was no tribute as well, so it is possible that they are all level 7s. We could be looking at a handful of Kazajin, Suijin, and Sangha. There's 1380. and 700, so 590 life points remaining for the Paradox Brothers. And they have one more turn to try and turn this around, and I don't see that happening unless they draw a dark hole. And it's Sangan. Wow. If that's all the Paradox Brothers will have for this duel, they will lose on the next turn. There's a bit of thought process going on, but they finally destroy Fire Reaper, and it does look like that will be it. So it could just be that they... Oh, there's King Fog. Get in there, King Fog. That's a... It's a card I used to use in Forbidden Memories until I realised that 1,000 points wasn't actually that strong. It seemed strong at the start. Anyway, Sangan is destroyed. What did Paradox Brothers have? Oh, okay. Wall Shadow, Sangha, and Kazajin. So, yeah, nothing they could have done with that. All 7 stars. Noble Knight Gawain. Gawain? Is that how you say that? Who knows? Okay, paper beats rock. And the Paradox Brothers are going first in the tiebreaker. 1 apiece here. Oh, that's not a good starting hand. That is not a good starting hand at all. Alright, Rock Ogre Grotto in defense. If PaniK's drawn a decent hand here, the Paradox Brothers could drop. They could win 6 or 7 in a row, then drop 2. Alright, face down Spell or Trap, and face down defense from PaniK as well. Paradox Brothers. Giant Soldier of Stone, that's a bit better. Good defense, 2,000. And end of turn. They are hoping, fingers crossed, that they can get Sangha on the field next turn. Oh, up flips Big Eye, so PaniK will be able to rearrange the top 5 cards of his deck. Could very, very well give him an advantage, given the poor quality hand that the Paradox Brothers have drawn. And down goes Ryukish Empowered as well. Oh, and Dark Energy. Ryukish Empowered now at 1900. Not quite enough to get through Giant Soldier of Stone, but he has to pick correctly here, and oh, he doesn't. It's Giant Soldier of Stone, that's 100 off PaniK. And he attacks with Big Eye, and that'll be a stalemate. Now, the Paradox Brothers will be able to summon Sangha from this. There is a face down on PaniK's field. Whether or not that will come into play or not. There's Shadow Ghoul. And Paradox Brothers waste no time. They tribute Giant Soldier of Stone and Rock Ogre Grotto, and down goes Sangha of the Thunder at a 2600. And it also won't receive battle damage if it loses in an attack, which won't really come into play. PaniK's not really going to get anything over 2600. So he lost 800 points on that exchange. And he goes for the face down defense and puts Big Eye to defense as well. Alright, there's Novox's Prayer, that's for the Skull Guardian Ritual Monster. Down goes Prisman. And on the next turn, possibly could play Shadow Ghoul as well. He's owning 5 stars. So the Paradox Brothers picking away at PaniK's defense. PaniK. Oh, Dark Hole. Game changer. Absolute game changer. The only playable card that the Paradox Brothers have in their hand right now is Dissolver. Well, PaniK went for a face down defense. He didn't go for a direct attack. Alright, Dissolver Rock face down, and Dissolver Rock has to last a turn to get that Shadow Ghoul onto the field. Otherwise, Paradox Brothers are in deep trouble. Unless they can draw Skull Guardian, they can tribute Wall Shadow. PaniK goes for a tribute, and King of Yummy Makai. That is PaniK's ace monster from the Duelist Kingdom, unless you count Castle of Dark Illusions. And it's looking very grim for the Paradox Brothers now. Wall Shadow and Shadow Ghoul in hand. Neither of them can be played. There's Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress 2. So the Paradox Brothers can protect their life points, but they need something quick. Otherwise, hilariously, they will lose to PaniK. Down goes Frenzied Panda, 1200. And King of Yummy Mackay goes for Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress 2. Frenzied Panda goes for Direct. That's 6,800 now for the Paradox Brothers. And they need something quick. Skull Guardian. There's Guardian of the Labyrinth. That again won't be able to do too much for them. At least be able to guard from an attack. It will mean that King of Yummy Mackay will have to do the destroying. Oh, there goes Frenzied Panda, and down goes Dark Chimera. So 2 of the anime monsters now on the field for PaniK. And it's looking very, very good for him. There goes Guardian of the Labyrinth, and 2,000 points now. That's going to put Paradox down to 4,800. And with no cards in hand that can be played, this match might be done. Barrel Rock. Again, just a throwaway defense. Looking very grim for Paradox Brothers now. PaniK potentially... Oh no, he wouldn't be able to do 4,800 points. There's Dark Titan of Terror. And good decision to attack with Dark Chimera. This will be 3,300. That's going to leave Paradox Brothers with just 1,500 points remaining. And it looks like they are done. And this is a surprise victory. I did not think PaniK would be the victor in this one. The Paradox Brothers, there's Sangan as well. That's what he ended the last duel with. And it's all over. Wow, this is a shock. This is an absolute shock victory. Did not think the Paradox Brothers would lose to PaniK. PaniK hasn't performed well throughout the entire season. The Paradox Brothers had the longest unbeaten streak. And they've dropped their last 2 games. There's a Sangan as well for Paradox Brothers. And this one's done. King of Yummy Mackay will do the field work. Sangan will activate, but it puts a card to the hand, not to the field. If you could get that Labyrinth Wall to the field, may have been a different story. And this one is done. Well, a shock victory as PaniK defeats the Paradox Brothers. Not a result that any of us, I'm sure, were expecting. However, well done to PaniK. He picks up a win to add to his season tally. As we look at it, yes, the Paradox Brothers won 6 games in a row, and now they've lost 2. PaniK had won 3 and lost 3. He's now won 4, lost 3, so we'll enter that into the tally. And the next match is going to be the start of a new round. It is round 9. Don't worry about the round count that much. I lost all my old season cards and had to improvise to get the season produced. Yugioh and Tristan will play off next. So you think Yugioh should win that, but you never know. Tristan's deck is actually pretty good. It's based on Beast Warriors. Let's flip over to Battle City and let's have a look what's going on. In there for today, we've got Seeker going up against Marek. So possibly a good-looking match there. Will Seeker be able to get Exodia out and blow Marek away a couple of times? Or will Marek... I think he would have to get Winged Dragon of Ra out to really be able to win. But we will see. Anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll do some shout-outs in the next video as well in the Battle City one, coming up about half hour after this. So wherever you are in the world, thanks for tuning in. Keep well, stay safe, farewell.